Hey, 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 chums! Welcome back to the long overdue Game of Chums podcast. Yes, we are still doing it. We are. I know we're not consistent. We've been very inconsistent the last 2 months, but we're here. We're back. We got a brand new episode for you guys to enjoy. And it's part of like what we're gonna discuss in today's episode. But life. It gets in the way. Life finds a way, as Ian Grant said
Life
in
finds a
Jurassic
way
Park.
to screw up
Uh,
all the things you want to do.
exactly. But that voice you can hear for the audio listeners is the ever adorable crimson, mysterious Irish bandit, Mr. Ross. How the hell have you been?
Same old, same old. You know how it is. I mean, we'll probably get into this with our main topic, but it's just going to
Mm.
work, going home, going to bed, going to work over and over and over again until the day you
Oh,
die.
yeah, you're part of that. You're part of the system now. That's what they'll do to you.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
how
so
life is.
how life is, my old chum. Yeah, very like that. Um, yeah, so like there's been some news. Xbox demise again, the price increase of Game Pass again, Nintendo suing, patenting basically game mechanics. It just seems like it's like a never-ending show. Oh, EA being bought by
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi, yeah, Saudi Arabia getting into gaming now. So was this wasn't how we grew up in the games in just in gaming. It wasn't like this. It's I'm very political and very
Corporate.
uh corporate. It's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, this is going to tie into what we're gonna talk about, Mr. Ross. Let's just get straight into it. Um, has gaming? What was the title again? What did I
Are,
suggest?
are our best
Are our
gaming
des-
years behind us?
are our best gaming years behind us? And this all ties into what we were just talking about. You know, life getting older, things getting in the way of our hobby, our passions. One being the corporate. It's very corporate now. It's lost its sort of fun element in some ways. Games get cancelled. There's so much toxicity in gaming now. You know, um, it's just not how it's not as fun as it once were. But personally, like, do you think your best gaming years are behind you?
In some ways,
Hmm.
you're saying it's not as fun and it's more corporate. I think it's part of it. I mean, it is more corporate than it used to be, but I think part of it is we were more innocent to it all when we were younger. Because,
Uh-huh.
when we were younger and it was like Sony and not Sony, it was like Sega and Nintendo, and before that, like Commodore and Atari and everything. These were still large corporations, but not like huge multinational
Hmm.
corporations with 50 fingers in 500 different pies as they are these days.
Hmm.
And yeah, it definitely feels more corporate. But there were acquisitions going on when we were kids. We just didn't really pay attention to that stuff. There were studio closures. We just didn't really. I think back then you didn't know as much about studios. You just knew, oh, this is an EA game. This is a an Infogrames game, or this is a Sega game or a Nintendo game. You didn't really think about
Hmm.
studios as such back, certainly in like the 8 and 16-bit days. I think that started to become more of a thing in like the 32-bit days. You started to actually recognize the studios that were making these games. So like studios getting shut down and stuff, you weren't really exposed to it, I guess, when we were kids. Just like you weren't
Hmm.
really exposed to all the corporate stuff we see now, like all the layoffs and the mergers and acquisitions and stuff. It was just didn't we were kids, we didn't care about that stuff. We just wanted to play the
Yeah,
games.
yeah,
And
yeah.
now social media, we're aware of everything all day, every
Yeah,
day.
yeah. I think social media has played a big part in sowing discourse in the gaming industry. Um,
It's
it's
given everyone
become
a voice, and everyone wants to use
uh,
that voice to argue.
argue. Yeah, people people are they take delight when certain games fail. It's become very much us against them, very sort of politically driven, ideologically driven. It's not just here's a game, enjoy it. If a certain if a certain platform releases a game, I feel we keep going back to Xbox, but when they release a game, it's more scrutinized these days because of you know certain how the Xbox the legacy the taint of the Xbox One was lingered on into this generation. But every time they release a game, it's very scrutinized. People are looking for that game to fail. But it's also, yeah, like it's very money driven. It's always been money driven with games, but they monetize everything now. You got
Mm,
microtransactions, loot boxes, everything is about getting more and more money out of you. So the game you
yeah.
love is just like slapped with more money to spend. And also if a game doesn't do too well, especially an online game, they shut down the servers and then they can shut down the servers. Sorry, shut down servers, shut down the studio. And it also makes me like think with this merger with this EA buyout, one of our favorite studios, they haven't done too well lately, but BioWare, people there's some rumors that maybe BioWare could be sold off, but they keep the IPs. Who knows? And I I always said BioWare during the early 2010s were my favorite gaming studio. I have so many fond memories of playing like Dragon Age, Knights of the Old Republic, Mass Effect, and they just couldn't do no wrong. And I think I had the best times playing those games. Um, Especially when they released the trilogy, the Mass Effect trilogy, a few years ago. That sort of really sort of brought back not just nostalgia, but also like the feeling of when you first played those games. You brought that all back to me, and yeah, it's just a shame to see that the studio. I know studio people come and go, and it changes. It's never the same people in that studio, but it is a shame to see what's happening to that studio. And their last few games hasn't sold particularly well. So could it be that Mass Effect 4 or 5 is it? If we count Andromeda,
We
could that
shouldn't count
be?
Android.
uh,
Nobody
There's
should
another.
count Android.
There's another thing. Yeah, I was looking forward to having played Andromeda, but when that came out, I
Yeah,
was just
we're
like,
all we're all
uh.
optimistic about it,
Mm-hmm.
and then it came out and it was pretty rubbish. I
Combat
I,
was
I
all
started
right.
up like the first couple of hours. I was like, it's pretty all right, and
Yeah,
then it just doesn't do anything. Yeah, I was willing myself to like that game. I played through the whole thing and I just didn't
yeah,
enjoy it. But yeah, I
yeah.
mean, you mentioned like the first Mass Effect, and that's kind of like where we are now. There's more games coming out these days than you could ever hope to play. There's always something going on when you've got like indies, the rise of indies over the last sort of 10, 15 years. There's always interesting stuff to play. But I can't remember the last time a game got me. Like I still play games pretty much every day. I still
You
enjoy
do.
it. I'm playing Kronos at the moment. I've been playing it since launch day. Still, still haven't finished it. I think I've got like 25 hours on the clock of that. So I'm playing games almost every day. If the only way I'm not is if I'm like going out for the evening or something. And
Mm,
but I work, so I probably manage about an hour at best a day. But I
mm,
can't remember the last time a game kind of gave me that sense of wonder, like when I first played the first Mass Effect, because I was
mm-hmm,
so excited for that game.
mm.
You'd played Jade Empire, so you kind of went from Jade Empire to Mass Effect. I played KOTOR
Yeah,
and I missed Jade Empire. So
yeah.
for me, it was like, oh my God, a new sci-fi RPG from the guys that made KOTOR, and there's all the pre-release stuff looked incredible. And I remember
Mm,
getting it. I got the limited edition with the tin with all the extra stuff in it, which I now have signed
mm,
by Mark Meer. And I sat
yeah.
down and I started it, and it was like this magical experience. I can't remember the last time I had a feeling like that with a game. I still,
Mm,
I've played a lot of games and really enjoyed them, but I can't remember having
mm,
that kind of feeling in
yeah.
quite a while. I can't remember what the last game to make you feel like that was.
Yeah, I mean, there's still like great games being released. Baldur's Gate 3. I really enjoyed that. That kind of brought me back to how I was when I was younger. When I first played that game, I was like, "Oh wow, this game's great. This is the story, the characters, the world. Obviously, it's a Baldur's Gate game. Was everything, but it still that was the third game in the series. I don't really have that sort of connection with it because I've not played the first two. With Mass Effect 1, I played it from the release, and carry over. You're saying it was the same character you can import in all your story choices, so it felt like a big long trilogy. You stayed with these characters in that world for 3 games, so it felt
I
like a
still
big
think that's
epic.
crazy
Mm,
ambitious that they actually did
yeah,
that.
it's still. I mean, they didn't pull off everything, but the what parts they did pull off, they pretty much nailed it. I
I
know
mean,
the
nobody else
ending
has done it before or since. So what does that
since
tell you? It's not easy.
the ending didn't land for a lot of people, and that sort of left a better taste. I remember being part of that movement as well, and I was like, yeah, fuck, man, I've got to change the ending, man. I've got to change the ending. That's how passionate I was about that game, that game series. I was like, nah, this can't be the end. But obviously, when you think back to it, you just think, well, I'm a bit self-entitled there. But that's why, you know, I love that series so much. And yeah, what I was campaign sort of part of that campaign of change the ending. Retrospectively, when you get older, you just feel like that wasn't probably the most constructive way of getting your feelings across. But um
I mean, that got
yeah,
pretty toxic.
yeah, it got really bad. I mean, this is before like really social media sort of really took a hold. I hate to think what it'll be like now with like
Mm.
all the outlets and ways you can get your opinion across now would be like it would just be absolutely devastating.
24/7 abuse.
Oh yeah, it is pretty the abuse is bad. I was never abusive. Like I never directly went to developers and go, "Oh, you ruined everything." Never like that. I just kind of wanted more for such a epic series to sort of have a better ending. But when I played back for it through the remaster trilogy, I was just like, "Well, this is just the journey was what really made it. Those little bits in Mass Effect 3 where all those choices you made come to a head. And I was just like, oh, this is great. I mean, I
I
don't want to
think
spoil
that's
any of
why,
it, but
yeah, I think that's why the ending, I found the ending underwhelming, but it didn't make me
mm,
angry. And I think for me, it was because the entire game kind of felt like an ending.
mhm.
Like the whole thing felt like an extended kind of coda for the whole crew and everything. And then
Yeah,
especially like the final mission on Earth, the whole part of it
mm,
was like saying goodbye to everyone. And I was like, oh damn, this
yeah.
is ending. And yeah, the
It,
ending was underwhelming, but it didn't make me angry. I was just like, oh, is that
mm.
it?
I feel like every character had a sort of their own sort of conclusion to their sort of character, their arc, their story arc. Grant, Miranda with her sister, Tally with the choosing the Geth or the flotilla, that sort of thing. Morden, everything like even like
Mordin.
your yeah, like Ash, Caden, they all had their sort of like moments in Mass Effect 3 where it sort of concluded their sort of story from the first or second game. So yeah, that kind of was like their ending. But the overall ending with the Reapers and stuff was like underwhelming. But what can you do when you have that much? I mean, I would have liked them to go with the dark energy sort of route, but didn't didn't do that. So yeah, but do I feel that sort of? I feel like gaming now, you don't have that sort of same. The passion's there, but it's kind
It's
of
different.
it's
You're
different.
not having
It's
like long
more
involved conversations about the
yeah.
games.
Just people make videos. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I feel like certain game series people will pick the sort of narrative, which I hate to say, but I try not to get politics involved. But you know how with the state of the world is now, that sort of left versus right thing. And if someone perceives the game as woke, sorry, or got some sort of like not progressive, it's sort of dogpiled on, or you get it from both sides, really. You can't just enjoy something for what it is. And that's what I spend a fair amount of time. Obviously, like back then, we didn't have a YouTube channel, did we? But now we're sort of we got our YouTube channel, which we don't really game on much. We're more like an event channel now. We go to the more like cons and events and like sort of day in vlogs and stuff around London and places like that. Then we do game, but we didn't have a gaming channel. Then we started a gaming channel because of so we loved video games, didn't we? So it was like we wanted to sort of play it like as a group of friends playing together, and like how we used to when we would back before we started like YouTube or talk about the games we loved. How we always used to talk about like, oh, what have you got to this part? Where have you got there? What character do you like here? This. But that's why we want. I feel like we wanted to start it. We didn't really feel like we were gonna, change the world and make money or do anything like that. We just wanted to put stuff out there and just have a bit of friendly banter here and there. Um, but I feel like as my best gaming days behind me. I feel like out of the two of us, I played less. Um, I even admit I say I don't really play that many games these days. I don't really I don't have the time. So my working hours,
That's the big thing, isn't it? The
yeah,
time
it's
now that
just
we're older.
time. We're all getting a bit older. We have other responsibilities, family commitments, relationships, stuff like that. It's just finding the time to sort of fit in our sort of get our hobby is becoming more and more difficult as time goes on. And this like, and I still haven't. I even think I said it. I was like, I still not get that buzz about a particular game series. It's more like buzzes I do get is from older games. Where they get a sequel or something. I feel like that's what I get the buzz from. Like new IPs, they're very hard to get off the ground now because
Yeah, it's a lot of
like
risk.
it's a lot of risk, especially with social media. If a game doesn't really hit or is not some sort of masterpiece, people seem to dogpile it. Any little sort of thing that's not what people think how it should be in terms of graphics, characters, gameplay. It really will get dogpiled, and people do have a lot of influence that can affect sway people's opinion and stuff like that. It doesn't look good, with like with certain outlets and individuals who will criticize a game. I mean, I feel like if Mass Effect came out now, like some of the stuff was ropey. The combat was ropey. You know, I know media outlets back then said the combat's not great, but I feel like if like certain YouTubers and stuff like that, TikTokers played that game now because the new release, it would just get absolutely rinsed. And maybe it would never have got off the ground then. I remember the controversy about the sort of sex scenes in Mass Effect. That was a negative, but that was in mainstream media, and that sort
Yeah,
of
it was like the
I mean,
Fox News or something, wasn't
yeah,
it? I can't remember
yeah,
now. It's so long ago, but
yeah,
about how it's explicit nudity in your child's
mm,
games and all this stuff.
yeah,
It's like, oh, you see two like dead-eyed mannequins smash their faces together, and then it fades to black.
mm,
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you should say about this. Mostly old games you end up looking forward to. The thing I'm looking forward to most at the moment is Tales of Xillia, the remaster that's coming out at the end of the month.
there you
I'm
go,
actually
isn't it?
really excited about that
Mm-hmm,
because I love that
mm,
game, and it's
yeah,
stuck on PS3, and there's no way I'm hooking up a PS3 to replay that game. But it's getting remastered at the end of the month, so I'm looking forward to it.
mm-hmm,
But every now and then there is a new IP like Kronos. I was really looking forward to because it looked very sort of Eastern European Dead Space. And I have to admit, it is really good. I'm really enjoying it. But again, like sometimes I'll put it on and I'll play for 5 minutes and just go, oh, I just can't be bothered today, and just turn it off. Because
yeah,
it's kind of got to the point like we used to sit there and play games. You get in
for
from school
hours,
like at like
yeah,
3:30 or whatever, and then you just play
yeah,
it as long as your parents would let you get away with it.
yeah.
And now I
Um,
play a game and I'm like, I really have to be in the mood,
uh,
otherwise I just won't.
yeah,
I'm not if I'm not feeling it, I'll just turn it off.
the mood is just sometimes not there, is it? Like I remember
Mm.
playing certain games. You play it till I remember playing Dragon Age Origins till like 4 in the morning. Sometimes, just keep playing. I just didn't want to put it down. I just wanted to get more and more into the story, the characters, and the
I
world.
remember doing that with
Mm,
Steins Gate on the PS Vita.
mm,
I was
Yeah.
lying in bed with the PS Vita till 4 in the morning playing
Uh-huh.
that.
Yeah, and like, the Resident Evils are getting like, that's I still like Resident Evil games, but I feel because that's an old IP now, it's getting the remasters, that's giving it a new lease of life. And it's just like new IP struggle these days. I think you still have the standouts. I wouldn't count Baldur's Gate 3 because that's old IP, isn't it? It's
I
for a
mean,
game.
half the buzz around that was the fact that Baldur's Gate was coming back. So
Yeah, yeah. So like Expedition 33, I've not played it yet, but I've been told many good things, and that's doing pretty well. And I do want to get along to that, but again, it's just like, it's a long RPG. Do I have the time?
yeah,
When can I find the time? Because you can't just sit down for an RPG and just play it for
hmm
like 2 hours or three. You got to like have a whole day dedicated to it. Because I remember when
yeah.
I first played Jade Empire, going back, I remember I was in my first year of university, I think. And I just got a crate of beer, had a Sunday free. I was just like, right, bang, get that on the original Xbox, load that up and started playing it. And I just played it for the whole day. So I was just like, wow, yeah, this game's great, man. Yeah. I was just like that sort of excitement back then. I just very rare that I feel that sort of way anymore, that sort of thing that gets my heart going. And it's like you just can't wait to play it. You just can't wait to get it out of the box, slap it in, sit down, and just shut the world out and just play. Because you just don't get that the time. And you know, that's just because we're older. I don't know how it is with kids. Kids these days, like they seem to play the sort
The
of
forever games,
yeah, the Fortnites, the Roblox and stuff like that.
which is another issue, I think,
Mm.
for like people that are a bit older like us, is
Minecraft. Mm.
yeah, I mean,
Mm.
outside of like these forever games that are specifically designed to keep you hooked to them and keep playing that and playing nothing else. But just games in general are getting longer because developers and publishers want to keep you on their game. It's like Assassin's
Mm.
Creed is. I really like the Assassin's Creed series, but those games are getting so long. Odyssey, I think I did Odyssey, and it took me, I shit you not, 3.5 years to finish it, and I ended up topping out at something like 250 hours with all the DLC, and it was just like I'd play it and go, yeah, this is great, and then I'd need a break of about 6 months, and then I'd pick it
In
up again. And it's just
uh,
these games are so long and they're designed to hook you for so long and they keep the content coming. Like they started with,
mm,
I can't remember if they did this first in Origins or Odyssey, but they started putting like weekly quests and stuff in. So
mm,
it's a single player RPG and you're putting in like service game stuff into it just to keep
mm,
people hooked. But all these
yeah.
games are getting so long. I mean, you look at the Persona games, they're just getting longer and longer.
Hmm.
Um,
You
it's
mean
just you don't have time. Like if you
mm,
get an hour a day to play a
mm,
game, you're probably not going to look at the 100-hour RPG and go, yeah, I guess I'll play that for the next 18 months. And it's just,
some
it becomes kind of an obstacle to picking up the games. And then you just end up, I don't know if you do the same thing, but half the time I just can't be bothered to play anything. I just end up watching random crap on YouTube.
YouTube?
And then
Yeah,
I go to bed and go, I've wasted my evening. I've got to go back to
yeah,
work. I've got to get up and go to
yeah.
work.
Hmm.
Could have made some
Yeah,
progress on something, but
yeah. It's like that's why I liked the first Last of Us. I feel like that was a very good story. It was just about long enough for me to sort of do in like a couple of days. What was it like 15 hours?
yeah, about that.
About that. Good tight story.
Perfectly
Not a lot of
paced.
fat. Perfectly paced. Not a lot of fat to it. Then that then Last of Us 2 came out and they sort of padded that bad boy out. That was
35, I
yeah,
think 35 hours that took me
that
to
was
play that.
very long. And I was just like, wow, this is
Didn't need to be that long.
it didn't need it really didn't. I still enjoyed what I played, but I
Yeah.
was like thinking
It's
this
still
is a bit
good. It was
unnecessary.
just there were definitely times where it sagged and made me think, oh my God, is this section
Mm,
really going to go on for another 3 hours?
mm,
And then
mm-hmm,
it did. And it's
mm,
just like there's a whole part in Abby's part. Not going to go into spoilers, obviously. I mean, I know the game's 5 years old now, but just on the off chance. But there's a part in Abby's half of the game where she leaves somewhere and then she has to go back, and the whole thing takes like 5 hours. It's
yeah.
like it could have been a cutscene.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like that's how it is with the Final Fantasy VII remakes, they've sort of taken chunks of the game, padded the hell out of it, and releasing it in three different parts. You know, I feel like they could have just remade the whole game in one disc, but they really wanted to sort of really like sort of pad it out and cut it up, sell it to you at as three separate games. And was that really necessary? Do you know what I mean? Like we played the original, it came out on three discs, but that was like the limitations of the hardware at the time. But with now, I just felt like, come on, you didn't really need to do that. It's just like taking sections of each part of the game and just padding the hell out of it and putting unnecessary like
Yeah. I mean,
quests and filler.
neither of us have played Rebirth. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'll play it at some point,
Mm.
but Remake was just unbelievably padded. It's like 5 hours of game stretched into 40. And literally every part of that game is twice as long as it needs to be. It takes so
Hmm.
long to get anywhere and do
Wasn't
anything. Never mind just the filler quests, but just like the bit where you're going under the plate to get up to the top and it's like 2 hours long. You're like, why is this 2 hours long?
it?
Train
Yeah.
graveyard. Why is the train graveyard 2 hours long? Why is the sewers
Mm.
2 hours long? And then
Mm.
when the whole thing with the plate happens, again, I won't do direct
Mm.
spoilers because even though the original game's 30 odd years old, or nearly 30 years old, people might not have played it. But when the whole thing with the
Mm.
plate goes down and they're like, oh, we need to go back to the sewers to get this thing. And I was thinking, oh, maybe they're going to go and get the battery like you do in the original so you can climb up the cables. Nope, you go through the entire sewers again, another hour, get to the end, and there's the hook shot that you had earlier in the game to use the last time you went above the plate. It's just like,
Mm.
what are we doing here? Why? That
What is
game
going
is
on?
just that game is just disrespecting players' time in the game. It's just
Yeah.
annoyed me so much. It's got some really high highs in it as well, which makes it
Yeah. They're
worse.
really good. Yeah. There were some parts I really enjoyed,
There
obviously.
are
Like,
some parts of it are amazing, but then so
yeah.
much of it is just drudgery. It's really
lot
frustrating.
lot of the parts that I really enjoyed were parts of the original. Yeah,
Mm.
there wasn't that many new parts that I thought, yeah, this really like sort of lends to the story. But there you are. It's a remake, all in name. It's more of a retelling, an alternate time.
Potentially a sequel
Yeah,
kind of weird thing.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think they're trying to do. I mean, obviously neither of us have played Rebirth, and I've stayed away from spoilers because I do want to play it at some point when I can actually
Mm,
be bothered. But I feel like it's probably going to be like the Evangelion films, isn't it? Where it's like all kind of like a
mm,
retelling slash sequel kind of deal
yeah.
going on.
I also feel like the price of gaming is your hobby is ridiculously expensive now. Hardware's going up. Games don't seem to be dropping in price.
This
They're
the
just
thing that
going up.
throws me
Yeah.
the most. Consoles always get cheaper, but now they're getting more
Mm,
expensive as the
mm.
gen goes on.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, your pastime is cost like to buy like a game now is like 60, 70 pounds. That's a lot of money. And I'm fear for the next gen, it'll be more expensive considering the price of hardware and stuff now. It's just that's what I feel like PC gaming is more sort of more
PC
sort
does
of
seem to be where everyone's moving to be honest
moving
with you. I've
to.
noticed a lot
Yeah.
of people moving to PC.
I mean, we have a friend of ours, a friend of the channel, ex chum, um, Dan, who's now got a gaming PC, and he plays that more than he was a diehard PlayStation fan, and now he's playing a lot more on PC because he's
It's
found
gone
out
all
that
in on
it's
PC.
yeah, he's gone all in, man. He's got some packing some serious hardware now. But yeah, it's just like the passion. The I still love gaming. I wouldn't do what we're doing now with the YouTube channel and everything else if I didn't like it. I still love it. It's just that I just don't feel that same sort of enthusiasm for
Childlike wonder.
yeah, man. It's just because I'm older, but there still should be something that I still get wowed with films. Music, I still really enjoy TV shows and anime and stuff. I still find, wow, this is great. But it's just more easy to digest, more quicker. I feel like there's certain like tropes in gaming that people latch onto, like open world, fetch quests, and all that. It sort of pads out games that don't need to be padded out. Like even like I know you liked Infinite, but that was just like a big sandbox, wasn't it, to do what you want to do. And I know like there's another game that it's sort of like I really enjoyed the first three games of the trilogy. Loved Reach, still my favorite. I feel like a lot of people think that's a favorite. I got a new love for Halo 2. At the time, not many people liked it, and I feel like if social media was about then, it really got fucking like
Yeah, I
triggered
mean,
and stuff.
that ending would have killed the game, I
You can't,
think.
yeah, I reckon it would have killed the series, but I feel like people now look back at it with fondness and a new appreciation, you know. So, but yeah, the 343 isn't sort of they haven't sort of captured the magic as Bungie has. I still enjoyed Halo 4. I thought that was the best game out of the new series. I still enjoyed Infinite, but it would have like there were certain things I feel like they should have varied landscapes, levels, designs, go onto ships and stuff like that. You just didn't have that there. I still enjoyed what I played, you know, but yeah, it's just like it's just not that sort of the magic has just sort of not been there. Like when we were lucky enough to go through, like, play through the whole games when they were released, enjoy the whole story, enjoy that ride and stuff like that. And with the newer ones, it's just not been there really. And I feel like the older fans, like ourselves, especially the more diehard ones and the more vocal critics, have been sort of shitting on it. And so that's sort of not really sort of reached that same heights as well. And same with the Gears of War as well. You know, I feel like the new trilogy, especially the one with Cat, Gears 5, that was brilliant. That was great.
Oh, that's great.
Like
Yeah,
just yeah,
I thought
visually
4 was really
fantastic.
good as well, and people
Mm,
hate 4. Uh,
yeah.
but I mean,
Yeah.
you talk about Bungie's Halo, and like you talking about how you felt about BioWare. I love BioWare during that period as well. Like KOTOR into Mass Effect into Dragon Age and stuff. But
Mhm,
Bungie was my version of that
mhm,
during like the OG Xbox and 360. It's like first half of 360. I was obsessed with Bungie. I was just like I'd be reading everything I could about them. I wanted to work there, all
mhm,
this stuff. I was obsessed with Halo. I was reading all the novels. I was like deep diving into all the lore online and everything.
mhm,
Um, and I don't do that anymore. And it's not because I don't like Halo anymore. I still really like Halo. I think it's just I'm not haven't got it in me to be that obsessive about it anymore.
mhm,
Like, I
mhm,
can't remember the last time I read one of the novels. I think someone asked me the other week, and I looked, and I think I'm like 15 novels back or something because they just keep pumping them out. And yeah, I used to be like, I have to know what's going to happen in the Halo games in the future. Now I'm just like, oh, I'll play it when it comes out.
mhm,
And I don't. This is probably a minority opinion online, but I don't think 343 have made a bad game. I think all three of their games are at least good. Don't think any of them are bad.
mhm,
I think to a degree they're kind of a bit of a victim of tastes changing. Like nobody really wants arena FPS
mhm.
games anymore. Everyone wants a like
What
military what's it called? Military
Battle Royale
fiction or
sort
battle
of thing?
royale or
Mhm.
extraction
The cool.
shooters and all that. Taste change and things aren't going to stay top forever. But I mean, it's like I remember when Halo Infinite was coming out, and I saw people online saying, "Oh, it's the multiplayer is free to play. I guess I'll give it a go." And then they sort of like detailed the progression system, and I saw, and this is seemed completely insane to me, but I swear to God, I saw this. Someone said, "Oh, I was going to play it for the battle pass, but now the battle pass looks shit. I'm not going to bother." So, sorry, you're going to play a game you had no interest in just to unlock stuff in a game you had no interest in, but you wouldn't just play the game for the sake of playing the game. It,
Mhm,
I feel like progression systems have broken people's brains,
mhm,
and it's possibly another reason why I'm slightly like I don't really care about multiplayer games anymore because everything is this treadmill of progression and stuff.
mhm,
Whereas for me, playing Halo, um, and even like Titanfall had all that stuff, like battle pass, not battle passes, but had like the progression system and the re-upping and all that shit. Um, I played that because there was no new Halo at the time the Xbox One came out. Just like I used to play Halo, the progression was getting better at the game, learning the systems, learning the weapons, learning the maps. That's what progression should mean, as far as I'm concerned. Not unlocking shit in something you would otherwise wouldn't play, just so you
Hmm.
can say you've unlocked stuff.
Mm.
And it's just like so much of gaming now is these tacked on treadmill things that I have no interest in whatsoever. Like, I play Halo multiplayer sort of once a week with a group I've been playing with for more than 10 years at this point. And someone said to me the other week, "Oh, haven't you got this unlock?" And I'm like, "I have no idea. Don't even look at it."
Hmm.
But I unlock stuff. I don't even check what it is. I don't care. I just
Hmm.
I've got my Spartans wearing the armor that they're wearing. That's it. I don't give a shit. I just want to play the game.
Hmm.
And it's just like, even in Halo 5, I played about 2,000 hours of Halo 5. That's probably my favorite Halo multiplayer ever. Everything about that just worked for me. I loved that game's movement set and everything. And once I unlocked a specific set of armor, that was it. I just equipped that and just left it on. And
Hmm.
it was Spartan Vale's armor from the single player. As soon as I had that, I'm like, yeah, that's all I care about. Just leaving that equipped. And I
Hmm.
played that game for 2,000 hours because I loved playing it and it felt so good to play. But yeah, so I don't really play multiplayer games anymore outside of Halo because I just progression, I don't care about it. Stop doing it. I think that's another reason why it's just feeling slightly out of step with where the industry is now. I think that's to be expected. We're getting older. We're kind of wouldn't say we're aging out because we're still playing
Mm.
games. I'll probably always be playing games, but we're not like the focus of the industry anymore,
Mm. Hmm.
which is fine. But you
Yeah.
know you have to accept that as you get
Get
older.
older.
Certain things that you liked when you were younger aren't going to be for you anymore. It's like perpetual thing I see in the Final Fantasy fandom where people are like, why do they make games for kids? It's like, because they've always been games for kids. It's just
It's
you were a
just
kid when you got
something
into
to
them.
make good. Yeah. 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 Final Fantasy is another one. Yeah, that was a big part of when we were playing. I think it was like a lot of people's first RPGs or JRPGs at the time.
Mm.
And that sort of not hit the heights as it did in the past, especially with I think like the last big Final Fantasy game, numbered game was probably 10 in terms of like people look back on that with great love and reverence. 12, it was kind of like the sort of there were people who
Divisive.
really loved it, yeah, and there was people who just had no time for it. 13 was the one where it just really like I remember that one big time and it was just like wow, like that got a lot of hate and I just think social media was starting to become
Yeah,
more
so that was
every
what
day.
2010, I think that was, wasn't it,
Yeah,
when that came out?
yeah, yeah. A lot of people were saying that. Look, remember when we used to get gaming magazines and there was a lot of articles defending it, and people like a lot of articles not sort of sort of not berating it, but not didn't like it.
I think
And
it
to
didn't
this
help
day,
that it came out so long before
mm,
in Japan as well, so we got a lot of kind of
mm,
second-hand sort of
mhm,
untranslated kind of takes on the game months before it came out here. So I think that kind of
mm,
colored discussion a bit as well. But I
mhm.
mean, ultimately the game was very, very, I wouldn't even say divisive really. I'd say it's probably like 10%
Ye-
like it, 90% don't like it.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I still don't like it to this day. I never really completed it. So, but yeah, just remember like there was this. You remember the Yahtzee from Zero Punctuation? I used to watch a lot of his like critique videos and stuff like that on YouTube, and he had he never seemed satisfied with any game. The game would have to be like I don't know, like Citizen
Silent
Kane
Hill
or
2,
yeah, Silent Hill 2 or something like every game he always
famously the only
nitpicked.
game he ever liked.
Yeah,
I
a
remember
lot
when
of
people
game.
used to take those reviews seriously, and it's like, yeah, obviously his opinions are his opinions, but he was like playing it up to be funny, and you know, I watched them because they were funny, but there were people that took them really seriously. So I can't believe you said this about my favorite game. I'm like, it's just playing up for YouTube, mate. Just relax.
Yeah,
Just like what you like.
he's still going strong today. I think he's
He's
he left
it's
he left
the
the
escapist.
Escapist, yeah, and
He's
started
got a
their own
new
channel.
thing. Is it fully
Yeah,
Ramblematic? I think it's called
yeah,
now.
that's the one. Yeah, yeah,
I
and the
haven't watched
channel
him
called
in
like
years, to be honest.
the channel called Second Wind or something like that. It's ex-employees of the Escapist, so like that. But he's still got that same sort of style and everything like that. It's still pretty funny and stuff like that. But yeah, I just feel like our time as the focus group has sort of passed now. We're sort of the old hats, we're the older generation. Games are not really built for people like us that much anymore. It's more like the sort of forever games, like you said, the Minecrafts, the Roblox, the Fortnites is just everywhere now. You know, the amount of crossover, cultural crossover that's had is just
I see they've
mind
got
blowing.
K-pop demon hunters in it now.
Yeah, I mean, fair
Everything is in
enough.
it.
Fair enough. They know the trends. They're on it, mate. It just seems like they got the finger on on the pulse at the moment. Um, I still feel like I know you don't like Grand Theft Auto, but I feel like that's one of the games that people really get hyped for, young and old. That still
Feels like a
people
lot
get
of
really.
people are pinning their hopes on it to like save gaming or whatever.
Oh yeah, well that game could cost £100 or dollars. People,
And
I'm
people
just
still
like, you
buy
really
it.
want? I was like, you really want to buy it? I'm like $100 or pounds or however X amount of money. I was like, come on, people. I like the series. I know you don't like it that much, but I still like the series. I think it's good. But yeah, it's one of those games that people universally are getting really hyped for because Rockstar don't they take long to develop, but the games are normally pretty well received. I don't think they've had a poorly received game for maybe Bully, but that was one
I
of
think
their
that
early
was,
ones.
well, I think that was, I mean, people have got a lot of nostalgia for that.
I never got a
I have no
sequel.
idea how yeah, he never got a sequel. I have no idea how it reviewed it at the time because I just don't pay attention to Rockstar games. But I know, I remember going around to mates and he was playing it and enjoying it. And I know there's a lot of nostalgia for it and people wanting it to come back. But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I've never played a Rockstar game I've enjoyed, so they're just not for me.
Hmm.
But they are massive behemoth games, and it's like whenever there's a new sales milestone for Grand Theft Auto 5, people are like, who's buying this? Hasn't everyone bought a copy yet? And I'm like, I haven't. I'm not going
I, s-
to because I
I
don't
feel like
care.
I feel like that's how it is with some Bethesda games, especially Skyrim. That's been released and everything re-released, updated, remastered,
Yeah.
everything. It's just that, and that's another studio that's not seemed to hit the heights that it did in the past when we were like, Fallout 3, Skyrim, and stuff like that. It just never really hit it. They still release good games. I mean, like, it is a Bethesda game that they release, but people have been putting sort of criteria onto their games that they should match current games, but that's not Bethesda. If you know what I mean, it's not a Bethesda game that they're trying to make a Bethesda game. They're not trying to copy what's out there at the moment. It's their own thing. Yeah, that's a Bethesda game. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, they are the only ones that do that kind of game. And if you don't like that kind of game anymore, that's perfectly valid. People's tastes changed. I mean, I put like 300 hours into Skyrim.
Mhm.
I don't think I could ever do that again. I guess we'll see
Uh,
when the next Elder Scrolls comes out, if it ever comes out. But I didn't put anywhere
mm,
near that time into Starfield, not because I thought it was crap, I can't put that amount of time into games anymore these days.
mm.
Apparently, with the exception of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, um,
Who know?
that's
Maybe
it's an outlier.
it's like I haven't streamed in a long time. Like you should, if you haven't, go and check out our Twitch channel again with Chums. But I haven't streamed a lot on that. And when I do stream, tends to be the older games. I tend to like games that I still liked from when I was a younger man. Not I don't tend to stream the current games, or if I do, it's only for couple of hours, and then I'm just like, I kind of want to play an older game, you know. I
I
remember
get
I
back
did
in my
that.
box.
Yeah, I remember I did the whole Mass Effect trilogy, streamed all of it on our Twitch channel, and I was just like, it doesn't bother me if no one really watches it, but I was just like, I gotta like stream that, and that's the only time I can really get myself to game. Like, I feel like if I am gonna game, I don't do it for like, I not like for pleasure. It's just like, how can you make content out of it more now, and how can I, like, we can make videos out of it and stuff like that. Which is not great, but I feel like if I could, I don't, I feel I have to merge both our YouTube, our Twitch, with my hobby to get time to play certain games. That's how I feel like I can do the best of both. But then that's a detriment because I don't feel like I can play like a game without going, well, let's set this up, let's record, let's lose some commentary, let's be excited. I can't just let myself go in and just enjoy the game for what it is, just playing it. But I did complete one game recently, and it was the devil's in me. It was one super massive game, part of
The
their
dark pictures thing.
yeah. I managed to play that whole thing because I was playing it co-op in where you control one character and then player two controls the other. I was doing that. I managed to get through all of that, but that's because like my partner wanted to play that game, and I was just like, okay, cool. I won't record it because I don't. She doesn't want to really be on recording and doing a YouTube thing. She just wants to enjoy the game. She doesn't want to have to be witty or
Doesn't has to be
talk
on.
on all the time. Which I feel like when I have a game, I'm like, oh, okay, let's make a video out of this. Now I got to set up a mic and talk and be interesting for however long I'm going to play it. And I feel like it's a detriment to my enjoyment of games now because I feel like I can't just switch off. I've just got to like, let's make a video of this. And if I was really on it, we would be every new release, we would try and make a video and get it out as soon as possible. But then
Well, I
that's
don't
not
think we
what
can
we
afford
do.
to do that
We don't
now,
do
given how
that.
expensive games are.
It's expensive, and that's the time. We just don't do it because we don't do this full time. I mean, we keep saying it. We would love to be able to quit our jobs and make a living of what we do, because I feel like that's our sort of ideal dream sort of scenario. Make a living of what we do and sort of dedicate all our time to playing and making content and critiquing or doing some like with what our passion is, because I feel like social media has been a good thing and also been a bad thing, but it's given voices and careers and opportunities for people who would not had that before. It's very difficult to get in the games industry if you're not like a coder or developer or something like that. But now this like all this social media has opened the doors up to more people, good and bad. Let's say that. Like, I feel like people start off gaming, enjoying it, and they just become like reaction channels or clickbait channels, and like people like Asmin
Rage
Gold and
bait.
stuff like, yeah, those sort of people sort of sit there and start like giving sort of opinions and controversial things and stuff. It just that's what it seems to have devolved into now. It's like the days of just enjoying the game has sort of gone away, and it's more. Is that you know where I'm trying to say. I don't know if I'm articulating myself properly, but
No, I know
I
what
feel
you
like
mean. I mean, it's the discourse,
mm-hmm,
if you want to call it that, is just tiring at times.
mm-hmm,
And it's like, do I want to just shut all that off and just play a game and enjoy it? Or because otherwise you're going to go down a rabbit hole of just increasingly angry people shouting about really stupid stuff.
mm-hmm.
And we have a YouTube channel, we have some social media accounts. You kind of feel like you want to be part of the discussion at times, but sometimes the discussion is just so exhausting and stupid that you
Yeah.
just have to just shut it out and just take some time for yourself and do something
Mm-hmm.
you enjoy. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot there's just a lot more ancillary stuff around gaming these days
Mm-hmm.
where it's like used to come in, used to blow into your Mega Drive cartridge, slam it in, play Sonic 3 for an hour, complete the entire game because that's how short games were then, And now it's like, you got to come in, you got to see what people are saying about this game. You got to
Mm-hmm.
update, while you're waiting for your day one update to download. And then you just see all this negativity around it and people shouting about stupid stuff. And it's exhausting.
Why
And
do
it's
you like
just,
this game? Why do you like this series? Shouldn't like this particular game. You're wrong for liking this game.
you're not a real
You
fan
know,
of this series if you
if
like
there's,
this particular entry in it.
mm,
And it's just, oh, shut up. Just go
mm,
away.
yeah. I mean, like it's it is like I'm wondering where the future of gaming is. Are we going to have more Saudi buyouts with their oil money? We're going to see more studios being bought out by overseas. Like I feel like the Saudis bought EA because of well, not the FIFA title, but EA do make sports games, and they want to get more into that sort of realm. They've got their thing. They got their fingers on many pies. They get into films for sports, try and improve their like image to overseas people. They had that comedy festival a while back with lots of big Western comedians that went over to that comedy festival. I feel like that's what they're trying to do now with video games. Uh, you know, what's going to happen with certain studios? When are they going to cut back? Because I think like EA will be in 20. They said they'll be taking on a lot of debit, so they're like 20
Yeah,
billion.
basically
Yeah.
taking out a 20 billion loan to
Mm.
part finance the buyout and then just saddling the company with the debt by the sound, from what I understand, which that sounds like that's going to be a great start to the new life of
Uh-huh.
EA. And then saying,
It,
oh yeah, we might sell studios off, but keep the IP. And no one's going to buy a studio when they don't have their IP.
yeah, I feel like
Otherwise, you just set up a new studio and say, come and work for us, and then
mhm.
buy a studio just for the name,
I
and
feel
then you
like
don't get the IPs.
they'll be looking at stuff that they can profit from the most. It will obviously be the sports games,
Yeah, it'll be all the sports stuff. Yeah.
the Sims games, stuff that they can really like monetize and make more money out. Games like what Bioware produce will not probably be seen as profitable for them.
I mean, I'm wondering
So
about this when it was announced. I'm wondering, like, will they try and cut out any kind of like queer stories or characters in BioWare's games if BioWare actually make another game?
it's like, does how
It's
does it does this affect the production of the new Mass Effect game? What's going to happen there? Yeah, that's why I'm like the one game I am sort of excited for is Exodus, which was made by ex Bioware employees, and from what I've seen, it sort of give me that sort of but a Mass Effect sort of vibes to it, which I'm very excited for, and it looks good. And what I've seen for what I feel like what they're doing is good, releasing these sort of updates and stories, small story trailers about the world and stuff, which is making me very intrigued.
they
So
put
I'm
out a
looking forward
novel
to
as
that.
well. They put out a
Hmm.
novel a while back, which is like 1,000 pages.
Mm,
It's like I read fantasy. The last fantasy novel I read was 1,400 pages, but that took me
mm,
6 months to
yeah.
read. So I'm probably not going to read that book. But yeah, I mean, it looks promising. I feel like every time I get excited for like a spiritual successor, it just turns out to be some kind of spark missing from it.
Hmm. Maybe they
Like,
can't recapture it. Maybe it's like lightning in the bottle sort of thing. You can never really sort of recapture that sort of initial spark. Um, I remember when games used to be a big cultural thing when they came out,
I mean, I
and
remember Halo 2 and Halo 3 launches are
yeah,
insane.
massive, yeah, went really all out for it, and I just was remember being a part of that, and I just remember being like going into game stores, seeing posters, seeing the magazines, which I feel like that's a big loss for gaming, like not having the physical like media there and stuff like that. Remember World University, I used to go into the WH Smiths in Elephant Castle and read the magazines there, and look at all the for like KOTOR 2 and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh, I can't wait for this game to come out and stuff. It's just that sort of that sort of connection between me and that sort of IP at the time was just like I felt really personal, and I just know it just doesn't really feel like that anymore. It's very corporate, very sort of like what I mean. It doesn't feel like how it did when I was younger, but that's just me being older. See, I'm being like I grew up. I'm gotten older. I know how the world works and stuff, and I see what's happening. And a lot of like the younger guys, they don't really see that. I don't think because they're just kids. They just want to play that game. They want to have that dopamine hit of certain game, quick content, and it's just not there anymore. I don't think they have the sort of the hunger or want to really be sort of in there. They just want that sort of hit
They
as
want
soon
that
as
next
possible.
unlock on their battle pass.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not just saying younger ones. I feel like a lot of older gamers feel like that now. I feel like it's just all been swept up in this sort of bland, sort of corporate sort of world that gaming has more become. I feel like E3 being gone. A lot of people cheered that, but I feel like that was a part of our
I still don't get
game.
why people
Yeah,
cheered that
yeah,
dying. I
uh,
genuinely don't understand. It
mm,
feels like part of the magic has gone with it. It was like video game Christmas, and now it's all
mm,
spread out across like a month of
yeah,
mostly crap showcases. And it feels like maybe again this is just us kind of getting old and our tastes and habits changing. But it feels like those kind of big megaton moments that we used to see at E3 don't really happen anymore. Like maybe you'll get one every couple of 2, 3 years or something,
hmm
and yeah, it just doesn't seem to
yeah.
be the
So
same.
doesn't seem to be. So would I say our best gaming days are behind us? Yeah, but I still enjoy like gaming. I still like being part of this culture. Is if that's the right word? Because it is. We buy clothing, we buy the products, we buy merch, we buy stuff like games we enjoy, and but it's like
Hundreds of physical games and figurines and
figurines,
limited
everything,
editions.
stuff like that. We still do that. But it's just we I still enjoy it, but we can't not see what's happening to gaming, and with u- us getting older and what's happening to video games, the discourse, the clickbait, the rage bait, everything. It's all sort of made your hobby not as enjoyable as when you were young, and we just don't have the time to sort of enjoy the games that are out there at the moment, which is is a shame. But when there is a game that we all play, because I feel like we don't all play the same, like amongst in our friend circle. We used to like just meet up and go, oh, you played this, yeah, you got where have you got here, where have you got there. We like one or two of us will play it, or none of us will play it, or one will play it, and just go, oh, you got to get on that. And just like, well, I just don't have the time. I just don't feel like there's a time where like a particular game where all of us are play, we all buy at the same time, we all play at the same time, we all message each other. Remember how we used to go, oh, it's amazing, oh, this is great, oh, we've gotten here, we've gotten there. I just don't feel like that's there anymore. I know we all live because we all live separate lives. We've got family, people got families, relationships, kids. It's just not there at that time, that one sort of moment where we're all together, we're all thinking the same, we're all on the same wavelength. It's just not there anymore, and it's a shame, but that's just life, how things are, and I think everyone's going to experience it, will experience that. Some people get out of gaming, and some people grow up, but I still feel like gaming is it's a billion-dollar industry. I don't think it's childish. It's like I could just say the same about people watch men kick a ball around, even though we're both football fans. I still feel like these are millionaires just kicking the ball about and rolling around on the floor when they get touched, and
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
like
I've
mm,
enjoyed football. I like watching football. I
mm,
support my team, but I'm not like
mm,
going and screaming at people on the street
mm,
about it.
yeah. Yeah, and like,
There are ways to engage with the things you
mm,
love without like
mm,
going too crazy or acting like a
yeah,
child.
yeah,
It's the same
like
with gaming.
same with gaming, same with like any sort of media, anime, films, TV shows, cartoons. I feel like there's more than ever now, but there's a lot more sort of discourse, people, lot more time for it. I remember people when what was it? What was the League of Legends one? Arcane
Arcane.
came out. First season, everyone was on that. Well, I enjoyed that. Second season came out. It
I
wasn't as
still
good
haven't
as the
watched it.
second. Yeah, I haven't watched either, but it's just not the hype's not there. Same with like first season of Squid Game was great. That was like a cultural thing. This season, the season 2 and 3, no one really talks about it. It's just not there. It's just like people move on, consume media very quickly. It's just like nothing's given time to
It's
sort of
always something else.
yeah, like Game of Thrones for that period when that came out, everyone was talking about the first few seasons. Obviously, the quality went down, so no one really talks about that. I just don't think that's that thing that sort of binds
I
everyone
never
together
saw
now.
anyone talking about House of the Dragon either.
No, even though
And
it's
they've
supposed to be
recently
pretty good.
announced a new, yes, I've heard
Yeah,
it's supposed to be good, but I've never heard anyone talk about it. And they've announced a
mm.
new show now. Is it A Night of the
Yeah,
Seven Kingdoms or
Seven
something?
Kingdoms.
And I've
Yeah,
not seen anyone talking about that either.
yeah,
People just move on very, very quickly these
yeah,
days because there's so much stuff coming out constantly. And it doesn't
yeah.
help that you've got all these fractured services like, oh, what's
Mm-hmm,
on Disney Plus, what's on Netflix, what's on Amazon Prime, what's on Apple Plus. Everyone's watching different stuff.
mm-hmm,
And I, someone said in a group I'm in the other day, oh, is anyone watching Foundation? I've just started watching it, and I'm like, season three's on now, and it's like, I liked the first season of it when it came out. I thought season two was kind of all over the place, and now I
mm-hmm.
don't care anymore. Season three, just I watched the first two episodes, and I was like, I don't know what's happening, don't understand what's going on, can't remember any
I,
of these people, don't care
mm,
anymore.
yeah,
And it's just there's just other stuff to watch. There's just
yeah.
always something else.
It should. This title should be as our best days of enjoying
Enjoying life.
life gone. Yeah, but
Are we ready
yeah,
for the grave?
it's heading that way. Even like stuff we like. I enjoy MCM. I enjoy like other cons and stuff, but sometimes you just feel like, hey, we're just doing the same thing. That's why I want to experience some different like cons, like in around maybe in Europe or something like that, or in different parts of the UK.
Well, on
Who
that note,
knows?
Paul, why don't you
Mm.
announce
Well, it's not been confirmed yet. We
tentatively?
tentatively we should be going to, hopefully, if everything goes right, we'll be going to the Anime Con UK in Birmingham, England, at the NEC for the 3 days there in June. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything works out well and we'll be allowed to go as press. So yeah, we'll be there and we'll be enjoying the delights of Birmingham, or not enjoying the delights because I've again heard bad things about Birmingham, and I, but I'm from London, so what the fuck don't people been
Gonna
saying a
go
lot of
and
bad things about London? So
gonna go and see the Black
mm,
Sabbath bridge.
yeah, well, yeah, we
That's
can
the
go
only
and
reason I'm
visit.
going.
We can go and see Aussies and Black Sabbath Prison, pay our respects to the great man. But on that note, I think we'll leave it there, Roz. What do you think?
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan.
It's a
And
successful first episode back from a big break, talking about how
big
we
break.
don't like anything anymore.
Yeah, our best days are behind us. We're old and tired. Yeah, but yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This podcast is available on all good streaming platforms apart from Apple Music. Because uh, boo you, Apple Music. Yeah, and we'll be seeing you again. We'll hopefully be more consistent, but life gets in the way, and yeah, we don't seem to release any gaming content anymore. We've stopped playing the It Takes Two.
It's a
It
split
hasn't been
fiction.
released in Split Fiction
We've got
4
to get
months
back to
since we
that.
4 months, man. And the other stuff we've been releasing is going to Animanga Pop and every other like con and
Yeah,
Japanese
we need to
festival.
get back on Split Fiction, but I think I'll have to watch the old episodes just to remember what was
It's
happening.
going in. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again on the next one. Hopefully not too long. Say bye, Roz.
See you, pals.
Dun, dun, dun.